I have this name, email and password. Let's create this brand new account, and it is taking some time because it is sending also email. So let's wait. Please check your inbox. Let's come inside our inbox, and this is our email. Now if we click on this link, we want to grab this ID and this token, and we want to verify it. So first of all, as I already mentioned, for this one, we need to have front-end application, means we need to have some kind of a UI from where we are going to just display the loading UI, and then we are going to read ID and the token from inside this URL, and then we are going to send this to our backend API, which we built earlier, and then we are going to verify our users. So this is the plan, but we don't know how to add UI inside our Node.js application. Here, if we were using front-end libraries like React or Angular, Vue or something like that, reading these data and sending this data to our backend API, this would be so easy. But here, because we are using React Native, so we cannot read these things from inside our React Native application. So for that, we need to have the way to add this verify page directly inside our Node.js application. And for that, you can search how to add HTML, CSS, UI inside Node.js application. So this is going to be the way that we will use if we are not going to use React or Angular or something like that. So for that, if you come down here, you will find a bunch of these results. So let's go inside the selection section.io, and here you will find different ways to add these HTML or CSS inside our application. So the number one way is to use the send method. If we come down here, you can see we can simply send the HTML data like this. And if you want to serve the actual page like the HTML pages, then you can simply create your page like this, okay? And you can have your CSS file like this, and you can use the send file method inside your response, okay? And then we can simply serve our HTML page. But also if you come down, if we do this, the CSS is not going to work because the CSS is going to be inside a Node.js application, which is not going to be served like that if we are not using this static method. So if we want to share the static files, we also need to mention that to this express, so this can serve our static files or the public files, okay? And like this, you can share the HTML and the CSS files. And you will find a bunch of other ways as well here. If you want to read more about this, you can come to this page and read about these, but let's see how we can use it, okay? So first of all, here I'm going to create this public folder, and inside here we will create this verify.html. So this is going to be our page, and inside this page I'm going to simply add this exclamation mark and press enter, and this will create this HTML boilerplate code. And now here you can simply change your title. Like let's use this email verification. And I hope you already know about the HTML and CSS things, so how we can write HTML, CSS. So I'm not going to waste your time. I will simply paste these things right here. So this is going to be the div where we have this paragraph tag called message. Please wait, we are verifying your account. So our user will see this message whenever they are going to come to this page. And now we also want to write some JavaScript code, and this is going to be the main important part here. So I'm going to use this script tag, and here we are going to provide this source. And we will create this folder called JS where we will have our JavaScript code. And here I'm going to have this verify.js file. And that's how we are going to add our JavaScript code to this page. And also let's add this CSS file here. So we are going to use this link tag. And here we have to define the relationship or all these things, or what you can do, you can simply type link :CSS, and if you press enter, this is going to give you that same exact code. Now here we need to have the style.css, or instead of this, what I will do, I'll create this style folder, and inside here I'll create this index.css. So let's save this file, and now I'll give you the CSS file which you can add inside your public folder. Let's add this style folder, and index.css will be the file name, and here I will add all of these things. Let's save it and let's see if it works or not. So as we already saw, we are not going to see any of these files until and unless we specify that from inside this express. So we need to first define that right here. So I'm going to use this app.use method, and here we are going to add our express.static. And here we need to define the folder name, or that is going to be the path of our file. So this is going to be inside our src/public folder. So this is the folder where we will have all of our static files that we want to share. Now from inside this public folder, you can share your images, files, like we are sharing this HTML and the CSS files. So anything that we are going to have as the public, we can add them inside this public folder. Okay, let's just come inside our application and let's try to reload this page, and we have nothing. And the reason is because we are sharing the verify.html file, right? So we also need to mention that right here, verify.html. And if we press enter, this is the page, or this is the code that it will serve, and this is the message that our user will see. Now from inside here, from inside this verify.html file, we want to read the ID and the token, and we want to send it to our backend API. So for that, let's come inside our public folder one more time. Here we are going to create this new folder called JS, and here I'll create this verify.js file. And what we want to do inside here, I'll explain that in the next video. But before that, make sure you have linked this file to your verify.html. Now, if you want to see if this is going to work or not, you can simply add this alert right here. And here we can add the message like working. Let's save it. Now, if you just reload this page, you are going to see this alert. It means now whatever JavaScript that we will write inside this verify.js, it will affect our verify HTML file.